every patch of grass has the potential to become a skyscraper. All it needs is to be put under construction. I just want my guest to introduce himself and tell us what he's about. But we are at the Raising Beyond, which is all about young people, and we're speaking about diversity, we're speaking about entrepreneurship, and we're speaking also about legacy. So I'm going to allow my guest to introduce himself and tell you all his credentials.
Hi guys, my name is Mbuso Mlangisi. I'm a licensed behavioral facilitator and a consultant, and we specialize in training programs that focus on employee engagement, well-being and growth so that businesses can achieve their strategies.
Wow, that's amazing, man. So we come from a talk that you guys had now, where the topic was about inclusion in the workplace, and charting the future and looking at the legacy of the youth of 1976. First of all, before I go into the inclusion part, what do you think as young people in South Africa currently can learn from the youth of 76 that we can sort of now apply now in the youth of 2023, I'm a 2000 hashtag?
All right. I think the first thing that comes to mind is take action. If you believe in something, you need to stand up and you need to do something about it. For me, that is the biggest thing that I think we learned from the 1976 youth. So today, the context has changed. They were fighting for something different then. Today, we've got a different environment. And are we being active enough to use this environment to our advantage to build what we feel is missing for us, as a country and as a youth of this country, more especially?
Okay, perfect. I love it. Take action, right? And speaking about taking action now, I love my next topic because now it speaks about taking action, because we have a culture in South Africa of black people not being included, what we call systematic racism, whether it's high rates, whether when you take loans at banks, we pay crazy rates and white people pay low rates. What do you think as us, especially for us young people who are still maybe in varsity, who are still figuring out life, can do to make sure that we don't fall into the same trap our elders are in right now? Now it's no longer about political power. Now it's about the economy, where we make sure that we are part of the economy and systematic racism doesn't affect the future or the people after us.
Well, the first thing I would say is we need to embrace our problems. So the problems that we have are also a mask for the greatest opportunities that we have. So densely populated townships are also densely populated economic markets.
Okay.
So instead of us always migrating into suburban areas, which is okay if that is your personal aspiration, but we need to be finding practical solutions to the challenges that we face post 1994. So if the idea that says what was meant to break you will actually make you stronger, then we need to think innovatively about the challenges that we were left with. How do we build townships into viable economic hubs? How do we use this enabling environment where we've got access to?
Off camera, we're speaking about, and I think you mentioned it in terms of turning, I think when you spoke to the township thing, it sort of sparked what we spoke off camera, which was about mindset and how we're not even able to work together as black people, right? And we even spoke to how Verwoerd, who's the architect of apartheid, was a psychologist, and you spoke about abundance mindset and stuff like that. How do we turn the mindset of our people from, we don't see Kasi as a place to run away from, but as a place that, why don't we build businesses? Why don't we, we don't wait, like you said, we are the workforce. You spoke about being the workforce, from turning our mindset from being the workforce to being, we want to build legacies, and it speaks to the event that we're in when it speaks about legacy, raising beyond, basically. So can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Big question, how do you change a mindset? That is not easy. So an elongated period of influence and intentional influence needs to be embarked on from all levels. So one of the underpinning influences of mindset is what you're exposed to. So community. So there are several stakeholders that need to be involved. It's not an individual job. No single school can do it for you. No single parent can do it for you. But it's a connection of all of these stakeholders. There's a role that parents need to play. There's a role that schools need to play. There's a role that media needs to play in terms of what are we feeding society and what are they consuming and how is it visible in the quality of their thinking. So as a result, what we expose people to needs to be the key focus. And then we need people that model, who are examples of the successes of the behaviors that we are preaching about, because people also react on evidence. Because I need to be able to look up and say, I see myself. I see a story that is aligned with me. If my story is, I'm born in poverty, I've got certain challenges, but I also see the success stories of people that have had the same kind of upbringing. And this is what I need to be sending back to communities that fit that target audience and feed them that influence and show them the evidence of what is possible should we choose to adopt certain types of mindsets. Because we know it says mindset, behavior, results. So if we look at the state of affairs and we look at the results, either elongated periods of poverty, yes, there are systematic issues, yes, there are historical barriers that still are in place. But if you weigh up the pros and the cons and what is enabling in the current environment, we also have the challenge to choose what we want to focus on, because we become what we focus on. So it's about time to start lobbying people to have a deliberate focus on being problem solvers and just not people that just steep in the challenges into hopelessness and then they become paralyzed and they don't take action.
You know, as you speak about even problem solvers, you remind me of the quote or the words that business exists to solve problems. So if there's a problem, it means there's an opportunity for someone to come up with a solution. I think you just sparked that. So, but yeah, looking into the camera and speaking to the young people of South Africa, I don't know, what are your words for them? We're in 2023. We can no longer speak about the past. What's the machine have done what they could? This is the young person of 2023. Speak to them. What are you thinking? What's in your heart for the young person in 2023 that you'd like to pour out?
Well, firstly, I've been fortunate enough to be exposed to quite a number of young people in 2023 already. And what I can say is that the quality of the people that we have is absolutely amazing. They have got great hearts. They want to make an impact in the world. And we need to harness that. I want to say that you're not lost. You're not a lost generation. You are a unique generation that needs to embrace its strengths and use what is available to construct solutions to the challenges we are facing. Running is not going to solve the issue. Look at the challenge. What is this challenge? What do we have to solve it? And let's move with that thinking and that type of energy moving forward. You are a chosen generation. So let's start standing tall and being what we truly are, not what we are told we are. We can choose to define that for ourselves. And that's for the young people.
Thank you very much for coming. What an insightful conversation we had. I look forward to having more conversations with you on camera and just discussing about the state of our country in every sector, you know. Yeah, man, I look forward to it. And it's been another amazing episode of Under Construction SA, guys. Look out for more episodes that are gonna change your life. We're not just here for fun. We make content that matters. Boom.